Hello and welcome to my channel. You know, if you were with me last week, you saw me put together an Electro for my Spider-Man collection. And today I have a figure that has kind of been sitting in my to-do bin for a while. I had been in Walmart, I think it was like almost a year ago, and I found this fabric there. I don't know if they have this fabric still, but it was kind of like the impetus for this idea because I thought these would make perfect pants. And it turns out that they did. I'm not going to show how I made these pants on today's episode because I actually followed a design by Rachel Baker, who does a lot of the costuming for Mego figures, except I didn't put the elastic loop in there. I left it open because I have this really cool belt. This is actually a Snake Eyes belt from Mego's Hasbro G.I. Joe collection, and I thought this belt would go really well with my Kraven. So I'm going to use that to kind of like keep everything together. I'm going to have it something like that. And I also took from that figure a couple of the wrist guards. These are those cloth wrist guards, and I dyed them brown. And I think they turned out really well. Let's see, what else do I have here? I've got a vest, a leather vest from Classic TV Toys, and I'm going to use this sticker in conjunction with this. I'm thinking I can split the sticker right down the middle and attach half of it to the vest, you know, and you know, trim off the excess, of course, but add that to the vest and then kind of layer it in with this tail that I have. This is from Mego's Cowardly Lion, and I removed it because I did a custom a while back. I did a figure for Star Trek. What was it? Tellurian? Tarian. I did a Tarian figure for Star Trek, and I didn't need the tail, so I cut it off. But you know, I'm always keeping stuff just in case, I don't know, I need it one day, and I needed it this day. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as part of my customizing too. This is going to be the mane that comes over the shoulder. And let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I made a little cuff here. This is actually the same fabric, but I actually super glued it together so it's a little sturdy, because this is going to be a cuff that I'm going to use on his arm. Right there. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, I have a knife. One of my fellow customizers, Bill, sent me some weapons, and in that collection was this little sword right here. I spoke with him, and he said that it's from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set. So I thought this would be a perfect hunting knife for Kraven. Oops, almost lost that. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, yeah, of course, can't forget this. I've got this head that I picked up online from illusion.com on eBay. I'll put a link to the head below. But this is like one of my favorite head sculpts that I've seen out there for Kraven. Just has some intensity there, you know, in that face. And this is going to be the basis for my figure. I'm also using an S-type body from Classic TV Toys. Where's that other body? I had another body over here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Here's a figure that I'm kind of like cannibalizing. I don't know about you, but I managed to pick up a couple of sets of the G.I. Joe. I guess there was a couple of figures in there, just for customizing. And I have some plans for the rest of this guy's outfit. I'm going to remove that emblem right there, and I'm going to turn it into an outfit for a Goku that I'm working on for my son. I think that's going to be cool. But I took his I guess shoulder harness and his belt and his wrist guards to use in this custom. I don't know if I'm going to be using the shoulder harness. Maybe, maybe not. I'm printing up a spear, and I was thinking about attaching it to the harness. I don't know. But anyway, this is a Mego figure that I had that I'm using to kind of like cannibalize things. And hopefully you picked up some too. I think they're still available. Last time I checked, they were. So that's what I've got going on today. I'm going to be working on my Kraven custom and using some accents here to kind of like, I guess, I don't know, put together an outfit, because that was going to be the hardest part, I think, is putting together a believable outfit. I want something that's kind of like comic book influenced, but also maybe some more, I guess, up-to-date or modern elements. So that's what I've got going on today. I hope you stay tuned. It should be fun. I'm really excited about painting this Kraven head. Oh, let me get to it. You know, lately I haven't been priming my figures. All I've been doing is just putting the paint directly on there, but starting with I guess a darker base for the flesh. This one's called Bugman's Glow, and I'm going to start with it first, and I'm just going to give the face a very, I guess, liberal coating. You know, it doesn't matter, well, yeah, you want to get into the little crevices and stuff, but it doesn't matter if you get it, the flesh into other areas that you don't want it, just because I'm going to be painting the hair black, and I should be able to cover up any sort of mistakes that I make. So I'm just laying down the base coat of the flesh, and again, I'm doing a darker color just so that I can layer on top of it. And it seems to work out for me. I used to use washes and stuff, and I still do use washes, but by layering the face colors, I get a little bit more, I guess, a varied texture, or not varied texture, varied tone to the face. Seems to work out really well at this scale. I saw it on some video or something. I can't remember where I saw it. I'm always watching videos on how to do stuff and improve on the craft. Because 1/9 scale is a little more difficult to do than, well, of course, the 1/6 is pretty much what all the videos I watch kind of do. You do the 1/6 scale, and those figures, it doesn't sound like it's a big difference, but those figures are a lot larger when it comes to painting. You know, eyes and things like that are a lot easier to paint. The 1/12, however, that would be a tough one to do. I've seen some really good 1/12 scale painters when they're doing action figures in 1/12 scale. So I guess I should count my lucky stars just because I'm not doing 1/12. And I do 1/9 just because this is the scale I grew up with. You know, I had Megos when I was a kid, you know, Star Trek, and my customizing back then, it was just kind of like different paint on the face and stuff, and I mean, you know, existing sculpts. It wasn't anything like that, like what I'm doing now. Okay, it looks like this guy is pretty much covered with the base coat. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry, and then I'll come back and I'll do the hair, or maybe I'll just do the second base coat, and then I'll do the hair. Just make sure at this point that you're going through and then you're filling in any like areas that you missed, any voids in the paint. You can see I missed a couple of spots right there. And that's how it looks so far. Nothing fancy, just a good base coat. Well, that's drying. I thought this might be a good time to tackle the accessories. I'm just going to cut the tail portion off. And I have a seam ripper here. Let's see. You know what? Let me use my X-Acto knife. I'm just cutting the little threads. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, well, let me get it apart first. I'm going to take this and use it as trim for the bottom of the pants, because the bottom of the pants were very, they're rough, and I didn't hem them, because I thought I'd want to do something like this, and I didn't want it to be too, like, thick, I guess. This is a cool little fabric. You can see I'm just going after the individual threads here. I'm not doing any cutting because I want to save as much of the material as I can. Looks like I'm at the end. There we go. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it in half. I think I got these scissors at Hobby Lobby. They're pretty neat. Okay, so there it is right there. And then I have my pants. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to create like a little hem. I might have to flip them inside out or something. But it's just going to go across like that. You can see I have a little hem there. I have this no-sew. That's what I used here for the top. And that's what I'm going to use to get those hemmed. Okay, so I got my hems over here. Then I got this thing right here. This looks like it's going to be a little more involved. Let me get this separated. I'll be right back. All right, I've got it separated, and I'm going to cut it in half too. But what I did was I used a comb. I don't know if that's half. Let's see. Nope, that's not half. Let me fold it over, find the halfway mark. Because I also want to cut this in half. Try a little part. Because the other stuff, the other fabric, it doesn't have a lot of fur, so I didn't feel, too bad cutting it in half without having to separate the filaments. But in this, I want to maintain as much as I can. So that's why I'm spending this extra time making sure that I get the part down the middle. So I can take my cutters and cut straight down. Now these little pieces right here are going to be on my vest, and I'm going to glue these across my vest like that. There's one, and then I'm using the rounded end towards the front. So it should look something like this. But first I have to get that sticker taken care of. But that's kind of like where we're going with the vest. Okay, my next flesh layer in my face is going to be this one right here. It's called Layer Cadian Flesh Tone. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush. Let me shake it up. Put a little on my brush, and I'm going to use like a little dry brush. And you can see this is a shade lighter than the last color. And I'm just going to use it to create some depth in there. Kind of see what that's doing. And then the last one's going to be the lightest of the three. And that's going to be for the highlighting in the face. You can see why I haven't painted the hair yet. I'm gonna get the face done first, and then I'll come back. And you can kind of see how that's taking that flat face, those flat colors, into something with a little more dimension. Just using a simple dry brush technique. I should be able to do my my lighter color now. Let me try that. I think this is the yeah, Kislev Flesh. Oops, maybe time for new brushes. And this is where the skin kind of pops. Yeah, this application is not difficult to do. The hard part comes when you start doing the eyes and the detail work. So you can achieve pretty decent flesh tone just by doing stuff like this. But the real paint app comes when you're doing the detail in the face and the eyebrows and the eyes. That's when it really takes a little bit more, I guess, skill. It's the hardest part for me anyway. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy and see how he's looking. You can see how that's building up the detail in the face. And then it looks a little, I guess, grainy. That's the sculpt. But when I place my my clear coat over it, it's going to clean up any of those areas. Just want to do the highlighting. Yeah, I think I'm good there. Now I'm going to have to let them dry, and then I'm going to tackle the eyebrows, the teeth, and the eyes. All right, I started working on the pants, and it's going better than I expected, so I thought I'd better get filming. I'm just pushing it into the pants, like a little cuff, and I'm gluing as I go, just a little bit at a time. That way I don't make a mess. And I'll come back and I'll cut off any excess when I'm done, but you can see it's not hard to do at all. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult than this, honestly. That's what it's looking like. You get to the end so I can cut it off. Oops. Oh, the little cutters. Got a dowel, let me see. Just to make sure that I'm pressing the glue. Wow, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one done. Wow, neat. I'm just gonna show you how I started. I just put a little glue on the end. I'm not going more than like maybe, gosh, 1/4 inch at a time. And I started on the back seam and I swung around. So here I am on the back seam. Just squeezed it down and then continued from there. You know what I just noticed? I was about to get ready to paint him. See that little hole in his lip? So I have this stuff called steel stick, and it's like an epoxy putty. And I'm just mixing a little bit. I cut a little bit off. You got to mix it until you don't see the gray anymore, so it's all like black. I'm just going to take a little piece and I'm going to pop it in that hole. Pretty well mixed. And I'm going to use this little X-Acto knife for application. It's such a small little piece. I'm just going to squish it down. I don't know what the technical term is. Looks like it's taking care of it. I should be ready to paint now. So let me put my steel stick away. This will tell me when it's hard. I have a little piece here. It's still pliable. Okay, so I've got my teeny little brush here. You know what? I had to show this off. I put it together. I couldn't wait. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna get that out of the way. Let's see. I had some black here. I'm gonna do the face first, and then I'll come back and I'll do the rest. Well, I don't know, because I think I'm pretty set on the face. Just gonna do the eyebrows. Just following that raised area. Let me see if I can get it in a little bit. I don't want to go too big and I don't want to go too small. Trying to let the brush do all the work. Pretty raised, so I mean, if you just follow the sculpt, you should be okay. I say that, but I invariably make a mistake. Okay, it looks pretty even. Now I'm going to put some in the eye. I'm going to put it into the upper eyelid. Because I want this guy to look like a cartoon figure, so I'm kind of blocking out the eye. And then I'll add the white. And just make sure you're pushing into the upper lid, because that's where most of the black's going to stay. And you can always come back and you can touch up any areas that you've like over traveled in. So that's what I've got so far there. Let me do his mustache and the sideburns. Again, I'm just following the sculpt. I think the mustache gets a little bit bigger towards the base. way it looks. Let me make sure I make it even. I color in the same areas. And again, if you mess up, you can always go back and you can just take care of it with your flesh tone. Probably the lighter one that we used. It's probably in a highlighted area. Now the sideburns. There's like some little hairs here. I'm gonna see if I can get those. All right, looks like I'm getting it. I go around the ear with my small brush, and then I'll move to a bigger one so I can cover some more area. You can see I got to the top of that ear, so I have to come back and clean it up. Yeah, I'm hoping I can just like do it really quickly with a bigger brush once I get these little, I guess, detail areas done. I think that's the hardest part of the paint job on this so far. Okay, now the front of the head. He's got that widow's peak, so I'm just pushing the brush against it. Sorry. Boy, this is kind of nerve-wracking for whatever reason. I think because I have paint that went into the hairline, and it's difficult for me to see what's hairline and what's paint. Okay, now let me get a bigger brush. You can see how that's really making things easier. Yeah, I ran out of my Citadel black, so I'm gonna have to go get some more. But for the holidays, you know, I don't know what the operating hours of the local game store are. Might go by there tomorrow. Okay, so that's what he looks like so far. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back and do a little bit of touch-up. Also got to take care of that lip. Alright, I have a hard time cutting straight lines, so I got this tool. And what I'm doing is I'm lining up, I don't know if you can see it, this line right here is my line. Looks good. I'm going to take my cutters, I got 2 of them, and I'm going to push in and cut. And hopefully I got something that's pretty dead on. Okay, now this vest is not a straight line, but this is, so I'm going to have to kind of fool with it. I'm hoping because it's a vinyl sticker, I'll have some luck with it. But I'm trying to figure out the placement of the eyes. I think that's where they're going to need to go, right on the shoulder. So, like I said, this is vinyl, so it's going to help out a lot. I'm going to try to keep it on the edge all the way down. Now the sticker, like I said, I started Kraven like a year ago. And I went to source out this sticker and it's no longer available. I couldn't find it. So we may be out of luck on that, but I did find some other ones which were available. Okay, let me go ahead and get my scissors. I'm going to cut into this line. Cut a little bit more. Okay, looks good. Now I'm just going to go back and I'm going to cut the parts off that I don't need. Like all the white parts. Some actual scissors. What am I going to do with them? Let me find those. Be right back. Okay, I'm just kind of cutting into the sticker and just getting rid of all the white parts. And then, of course, where it goes over the arm, I'm not going to need all that. I just noticed the sun setting, so it's probably difficult to see. But I think you get the idea. You just remove any of the white backing because you don't want that distracting from your application. So I'll clean the rest of this off camera, but that's kind of like the idea where I'm going with it. Okay, it's going to be a lot easier just to cut it out and then just glue it down than to try to cut it after you've applied it. So here I am trying to keep my fingers off the sticky part. I should have done this while the backing was still on. And believe it or not, the top of the head is not the most important part. Oh no. Okay, I'll try to get that off in a sec. Now this is where I have to get them lined up. Okay, I'm just going to apply it and I'm going to take a look at it. Okay, looks right there. Okay. Okay, well, here's my vest. I think I'm gonna stop for now because the sun's setting and it's putting out some weird shadows. All right, I got the first piece attached. I'm just using this glue, just putting it all over the backside, trying to keep it out of the hair. And then you just line it up on the top of the vest right there, and then go across. And press it down. Oh, I got some glue on the face. Let me get that off. And you know what I noticed? I have these like little white dots. So I have this paint. Let me see where is it. It's called Rhinox Hide, and I'm going to use it to cover up the little white spots. Just place a dab right there. You can see it's just covering them up really well. All right, I think my jacket's done. Let me get it on him and see what it looks like. Yeah, sorry about that. You couldn't see the touch-ups with the sun setting, but that's what the vest looks like once you get it touched up and the decal applied. So, really happy with the way that turned out. I'm happy with the way that the fur looks on there. Everything's coming together quite nicely. Let's finish up the head so we can get them all together. Let's see. I think there was some touch-up I had to do on this. I noticed on the ear I got some black on there, so let me take care of the touch-up with my my lighter flesh color, my Kislev. And it looks pretty light, but it actually darkens as it is exposed to air. I mean, not much, but a little bit. And let's see, right here. And I'm going to take care of the lips. Those are going to be Cadian Flesh Tone. And let's take care of that little repair that I made too. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Paint the teeth. Let me do that real quick. Okay, I'm going to use my white. I'm using an apple barrel for this one. I may have to go back and paint that lip. Okay, might as well paint the eyes while I'm here. Now for painting the eyes, I'm going to make sure that I just get the inside of the whites and try to keep everything else, the black on the lid and okay, it looks like I made a mess of the eyes, but not really. Because first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to paint the lid, and I'm going to use that Kislev flesh for that. Or you know what? Let me use the Cadian flesh, because it would be a little darker. It'd be in the shadows. So I'm just dropping it on the lid. Same thing over here. And I might as well paint the lips. All right, now the black in the eye. Maybe need to go back and touch that one up. Has these like little divots that should make things easier, but in this case, it's just kind of like I don't know, it just makes it a little more, it makes it tougher. Okay, let me fix that one eye. Let's see, what's the best way to fix that? Take a little white and then fix that lid again. And then I've got my pin around here somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and put the like a pin prick on there. of white. Looking good. Okay, where's that little pin? That little safety pin. I'm gonna try to get it right in the middle. Having a hard time. One more time. Here we go. Let me try to fix that. I got some white up there where I don't want it. So I'm gonna use my brush as an eraser. Put a little water on there. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get. Let me go ahead and get them on the body. Well, first I'm gonna spray them with my matte clear coat, and I'm gonna get them on the body, and we'll take a look at my new Kraven the Hunter. Well, that's what he looks like complete. Boy, he came out great. But you know what, I gotta introduce the real star of the show, which is this right here, this matte clear enamel by Rust-Oleum. You know, not only did it like help with the finish on his face, because if you remember it was a little rough, but look how smooth it is now. And look at that hair. It just really smoothed everything out, evened it. And then I also used it as a decoupage on the vest to kind of keep that vinyl sticker down. So yeah, that stuff's a winner. If you haven't put it into your toolbox for customizing, you need to. Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel. And it has this really cool applicator too. So back to Kraven. You know, I'm glad I took a year to kind of get this guy together and kind of put some thoughts into his construction. Because you know what, he turned out great. One thing I will change though is the moccasins. For whatever reason, I think it's because I had them. You know, there were the Greg Brady moccasins. I have a couple of sets actually, but I don't think the color works very well. So I saw some on Dr. Mego's store page, and he has some of the reddish brown ones, and I'm definitely going to get those. That's going to be the thing that I upgrade to. But you know what? Everything else, just spot on, I think. You know, I printed the spear. It's called the Dragon Lance. And I got it off of, gosh, I don't remember, was it CG Trader? I don't know, I found it on Yagi. But really cool spear. But there's a really neat feature, and this is the reason I wanted to use this belt. I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's a little slit there. I don't know if you can see it. You'll see it when I put the knife in. There's a little slit where you can put in like a knife, and that's why I really wanted to get this belt. And as I said earlier, it came from my G.I. Joe collection. You know, I actually ordered a couple more because I've just been using those guys for a lot of stuff. The black body for the articulation. Let's see, some of the accessories, the weapons. Just worked out really well getting a couple. I think I purchased maybe 3 sets. So it was well worth it. But yeah, Kraven came out really well. You know, I think that Cowardly Lion tail, oops, is just the perfect size for his vest, you know? I think I might be tempted to use more material if I wasn't limited to that amount that I had with that tail, because it just turns out perfectly. Let me see, let me get him back on his stand. I think maybe the spear was helping him stand a little bit better because he's on these rickety stairs. Boy, yeah, he looks good. Love those bracers, that cloth bracer, really neat. Just all around, just looks good. Like I said, I'm glad that I didn't use too much of that fur. As you can see in the back, it just kind of like, it comes together really nicely. So all in all, good looking figure. I'm glad that I took the time to get him done. I think he looks just great. That vest is this, you know, it's a showstopper, man. It just, in real life, it looks just spectacular. I don't know how it looks on camera. I guess it looks fine, but you know, up close, it works. And I wasn't too sure about it. You know, I got that sticker and I was just kind of worried that it wouldn't work, but it does. And I looked online, and there's some vinyl stickers out there that are about 3 inches, you know, from the top of the mane to the bottom. I would get like a 3-inch sticker or a 2.5. I mean, maybe 2.5 would be too small, but I know a 3-inch sticker would work out really well. Just make sure it's vinyl. I think paper would work, especially if you hit it with your matte clear enamel, you know, as a decoupage. I think that would really work. But another update, I went to Walmart yesterday just to see if they had this fabric still available, and they do. So, you know, the pants are no longer a problem. You can go to Walmart, watch that Rachel Baker video, you know, really cool video. I think she's making like sweatpants for superheroes, but it worked out really well in this application. And that fabric glue makes things easier for me because I cannot sew. I was lucky to get those pants together, honestly. But all in all, very happy with this guy. I'm glad you stuck with me this long. I hope you feel like you were rewarded. And if you wanted to try it yourself, it's definitely doable. You know, the paint apps, pretty easy, honestly, except for the eyes. For some reason, I struggle on the eyes. They're just the hardest part for me. And one other thing is the body. I wish that Classic TV Toys made a darker body, because I like the color of the face. It's that, you know, weathered, hunter kind of color, and that I was going for. But the body just, you know, it's a little pale. My wife said to paint the body, but I don't want to go into those drastic steps. I'm thinking maybe I might be able to dye it using some RIT dye. That might be something I try. You know, just dip it in there for a little bit, some of that all-purpose dye that takes care of synthetics. That might work. So that might be something I try, and if it works, I'll post the results on that. Well, until next time, you guys stay safe, be cool. I can hardly wait to get some pictures of this guy. Spider-Man and some of my other Marvel heroes. Well, until next week, see ya.